Hello everyone, so before we start this episode, just a quick disclaimer that my audio is really bad. Eric and Magic's crashes, audio is fine, but mine is really bad. I do know what the problem is though, so enjoy, and next episode will be even better.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Behind the Magic. I'm Dylan.
I'm Eric, and this is our guest, David.
What's up,
Go
guys?
ahead,
I'm the
say it.
Magic Crasher, and let's learn some magic and talk some magic. There we go.
Exactly.
Yeah. There you go, guys. David Bonfadini in the house. He has
Woohoo!
following on social media such as TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We'll link his socials in the description. If you're watching those
Exactly.
on YouTube, welcome. Click the links, and if you're listening to us on Spotify, we'll send the links there. So thank you so much for
Exactly.
joining us, David. This was on such short notice.
Hey,
Eric,
no
can you
problem.
please open us
Go
with
ahead.
the first question? First question, Eric.
First question of the night is this. When did you get into magic?
I got into magic when I was 6 years old. I saw my first magician I saw was a magician at a county fair, a state fair, and they basically were selling magic. It wasn't even a magic show. It was like a pitch man, someone that
Okay.
was like stopping people, and he was selling like the Svengali deck and quarter through rubber and fire wallet, like super fun
yeah.
things where you're like, right. And I was 6. So
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
For the young magicians out there who watch you all the time, so is my little sister. What is the best advice you have for the young magicians out there,
for the young magicians, that's great.
including us?
Including you guys. Well, so there are so many different things that you can do in magic. And if I were to break it down, if somebody were to say what's like the best career and everything, or the best thing, is I would say do everything in magic. First thing I would do is, besides learning your skills, I would learn how to like busk, street perform. And
Yes.
then
We're both.
yes, and then take
Yeah.
improv classes. And I would also say learn everything about magic and learn all the styles, and then figure out which one you like. So is it street magic? Is it stage? Is it cardistry? Is it table magic? Is it close up? What is it that you like? And then hone in
Is it
on
parlor
what you
magic?
like. Always tune in on what you like. Like turn it up on what you like in magic. Yeah, sorry, you were saying something?
Who?
You just said
Oh no,
parlor
you go.
magic.
You keep on going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, parlor. Yeah.
Yeah, so parlor. So then I would say, so we're talking about the different styles, and then turning up whatever you like. Learn as much as you can about it. Talk to other magicians that are similar in the magic that you like. Also, remember, magic is not a competition. Magic is alive
Exactly.
because there's so many different magicians doing the same tricks but different ways. So it
And
becomes
kids
a
stay
problem
hydrated.
when they're doing the same tricks the same way. And that's not the case for a lot of people. It's just we do the same tricks, but then we have our own personality, our own steez to it. Yeah.
Everybody has their niche.
Yes. And I think it's important, again, honing in on whatever your niche is. And that's kind of like what I was saying, because then that kind of goes into making money as a magician. If you want to make money as a magician, well, there's so many ways you can do it. First off, social media is not one way. Okay, we are very few and we're rare, but you can use social media as a tool. But for money, the biggest thing is start doing small shows, birthday parties, friends, whatever. Do it for a modest amount of money. Remember, price yourself based on your skill, not on your hype. And the fact that you're both Magic Castle members,
Exactly.
that's like, you know, that's right there. That's like a level up right there. So, because it takes a lot to become a member. So you've already proven a lot to a lot of people when you say that. Me being a Castle member too, it's always like, oh, okay, now I know what caliber I'm getting, you know, of a magician or entertainer. So I would say do that, and then definitely try to get into corporate magic. You can get into it as young as you are, 16, 17. Don't think that it's not, because remember right now, brands, platforms, gosh, brands,
Companies.
platforms, and I would say just like in general, like companies, the world is that, you know, they lean towards the young. So if you guys can come to these corporations and you're like, hey, I'm 17, I've been doing magic since I was this, I have a modest following of X amount of followers. Because again, when you're trying to get on that level, you do need to make sure that you're also working on your presence. So Dylan,
Yes.
good job on that. Eric, I haven't checked out your stuff yet, but definitely going off of you, Dylan, you're, you know, in line to be, I would say, you know, you're in the same mindset and thinking of James Samuel, myself, Dan Rhodes, Joel M. Like you get how to create magic content, but then I also know that you perform actual shows. So that balance, and that balance is so important, because what's the point of getting popular on social media if you can't do a card trick to someone and entertain them?
Exactly.
You know, with not a lot of gimmicks. Like I can literally do a 20, I don't like to do more than 15, 20 minutes. I have my manager book me out for 15, 20. That's all they need. And then I'll do walk around. But like parlor stage show setting, 15, 20. Like deal with it. It's so strong and powerful. I don't need anything more than that. But I would definitely say don't get pinned on cards. Don't get pinned on
Do everything. Do a lot
anything.
of stuff.
Yeah. Well, not just do everything. Be ready to perform a 15-minute show.
Yeah.
Anytime, anywhere, with anything on anybody.
Yeah, I've learned that the hard way. Like I've had
As me,
moments where
What's that?
I've had moments where I've like been in the presence of someone who's like, oh, can you, like I've been, you know, I'm holding a deck of cards at like a friend's house, you know, playing around, and like, oh, can you show me a trick? And I'm totally unprepared. I used to have no impromptu tricks. I only knew like, you know, the setup self-working stuff back in the day. You know, those self-working trips we have to put some, you know, all that crazy stuff. But I've learned that, yeah, have about 3 or 4 impromptu tricks that you've tricks are bad, what the audience likes, and always have those ready. Even not even a restaurant might be like a napkin or something, or a salt shaker, or you know, straws, all that sort of stuff. Be ready for images of everyday objects.
Yeah, remember your surrounding is your stage, is your magic. So if you are working in a restaurant, exactly what he said, make that restaurant known. Make people talking about you to where they're like, yo, that magician, you know, he's funny, he's, you know, great hire. And then that's great, because, you know, and don't be afraid to charge a restaurant. Like I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, when I was starting, like I charge a restaurant like $150 for 2 hours plus tips.
Oh wow.
So it's $75 an hour.
Oh wow, that's really good.
Yeah, $75 an hour plus tips. I mean, that's the standard around here.
So and
yes, sir. Okay.
When you say restaurant
let's
I'm sorry, go ahead.
when you say restaurant gigs, do you mean as in like table hopping or like you got a because I know Eric does he has like a table and then he like performs for a what was it like a pizza burger shop or something?
And
Eric?
then yeah, a pizza restaurant.
Yeah,
So
pizza restaurant.
yes,
Yeah,
so that is a version of it. There's normally like at like a and like sit down restaurants
And I do
where
table hopping as well.
okay,
table
yeah.
hopping.
So
Yeah,
table hopping is it's the same
Yeah.
thing. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I do both.
sweet, nice.
Yeah. It's more so strolling magic, yeah. Uh,
Strolling, exactly.
so well, next question.
Oh,
The
can I just
next
quickly say
question
something,
is like
Eric?
you mentioned. Yeah, go ahead.
Quickly say something. First of all, Eric, the audio. So I've got audio analysis thing here. So can you not do the springs or the anacondas?
Oh yeah,
Everything else
yeah.
is fine.
Thank you. I can
Yeah,
barely hear. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
yeah. Everything else is fine. It's just
Gotcha.
yeah, like you can do like what these or they're just the anacondas
Sorry
and
about
the
that.
dribbles. Not all good. You're good, bro. So answer the question.
Gotcha. Okay, so the question is because you mentioned that you work at the castle. How long have you been part of the castle? And what is your more so what you do at the castle?
So I do not work at the castle. I am a
At
magician member.
the Magic
I'm a
Castle.
celebrity magician member. And I just take my clients and my guests
I
and
mean,
Hollywood Elite whenever they want to go.
yeah, magician member.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's what I meant by that.
How long have
Yes.
you been for that for?
What's that?
How long have you been working like helping out the Magic Castle for being a
Okay.
celebrity
So
magician?
I've been a magician member for 10 years.
Oh wow,
Yeah, I just got my
wow.
10-year pen.
Hey, let's go. Have you
Yeah.
got it?
I don't have it on me. Shoot.
All good, yeah. So, David, for our
Mhm.
next question, I was wondering about social media because we know you've been a big part of the social media, got a big following. I want you to give us the whole story, how it happened, what risks you take, all of it.
Oh
Give us
wow.
everything.
Okay. So I first got on social media about 2011 on YouTube, and by 2013 I had a really huge video called the Invisible Gym or the Invisible Chair prank, and that went uber viral. Again, this was like long form YouTube, so this was back in the day. You know, to get 40 million views on a 7-minute long video was huge back then.
Yeah.
And
Oh
so I
wow.
had, I don't know, like 10 videos that got just 10, 15 million plus. It was crazy. 9. And so that was all good, but I didn't really know much about it. And I started social media solely so I could get my, like, kind of stand out from the other magicians that were also doing things. So
Yeah.
what this was my thought process. I was like, hey, here we go. Let me be able to, and so really between you and I had the idea of what we now know as an influencer. So I would tell these people, I have 5,000 followers on YouTube. Let me come out to your show. I'll give you a good rate and I'll film content, come back, blah, blah, blah. Now, fast forward, I'm still friends with a lot of these companies. And, you know, of course, they're like, hey, do you want to come? I'm like, sure. Here, talk to my manager. But there are some actually that hit me up and I'll just come out and do it if I'm free because it's, you know, I know who started me and things like that. So again, let's fast forward to that's YouTube. Let's go to Instagram. Instagram, I started 2015.
Okay.
And that was weird. I didn't really know
Okay.
what kind of videos to really put out for that. Like for me, I had the Jabrizi, the Julius Dean, the Paul Vu to really see what they were doing, and they also, you know, emulated that also on Facebook. I ended up going on Instagram. I ended up being like, hey, let me take a whack at this Nothing really took off on Insta, but I stayed with it because I understood it was part of the whole game. That was 2015, 2016, 2017. About 2017-ish, 2018, I learned about short form video. And there were apps that you've never heard of. Maybe you have. It was called like Vigo Video. And they like had us on, and Vigo Video was actually owned by ByteDance.
I've heard of Vigo.
What's that?
He's heard of it.
I said I've heard of
awesome.
Vigo.
Yeah, and so Vigo is basically Vigo was part of the same parent company as TikTok, and it was really cool to be at the beginning stages of what this short form, because I missed Vine. I didn't get Vine. I didn't really, I just didn't get it. I focused on Instagram. And in 2018, and this whole time I had no other job. Like all these times, all I had was magic. But by this time I was doing corporate gigging as well as trade show magic, which is the best way to make money. And it's the highest paid, in my opinion, form of magic is trade show magic. I ended up leaving the trade show magic to focus on short form once I started on TikTok in about 2018, 2019. It was awesome. But 2019 in November was when I went actually viral. Actually, I'll back up. I was on Musical.ly, and my girlfriend at the time said, "Hey, you should post one of your magic tricks on Musical.ly." And my second video was the invisible chair, and it got like 1.2 million. And I went from 0 followers to 20,000, and then I got crowned about 2 weeks later, and that was their verified. So I ended up.
I remember you Musical.ly.
Yeah, so I ended up not really doing much on Musical.ly because I was focusing on Vigo. Then Vigo said, "Hey, we want to introduce you to this other app called TikTok." And I was like, "Okay." And they're like, "It used to be called Musical.ly." And I'm like, "Musical.ly? I just used that last week." And they're like, "No, it's now TikTok." And I'm like, "Weird." So I ended up becoming one of their top 25 beginner like beta testers and stuff. And it was so much fun. Learned the algorithm, just learned to love to create. And that's like literally the biggest thing when it comes to video. You have to love what you're creating. Because believe it or not, like these BTS videos with the fake chips, people are like, "Oh, you're doing them because Dan Rhodes doesn't, da, da, da." You know what? Other people have similar styles, but the way that I do them are different. The way he does them are different. But I actually enjoy doing them. Like I enjoy coming up with the ideas. I got 2 banger ideas that I came up with today that I'm so excited. And then I did the Oreo one yesterday, and that one did really well. You just have to be excited about what you create. You have to. So once you're excited about what you create, and I figured out what I love doing, I just, November 2019, I took that magic marker, marked it on a friend, and next thing you know, the thing got like 32 million views in less than 48 hours, which was back then was crazy because the algorithm was so weird. It would throw out random 48 million view videos in 2 days or a day. And when that happens, you're getting a ton of followers. So when that happened in November of 2019, I went from 124,000 followers to 764,000 in 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
it was,
insane.
what's that?
Did you invent you invented the Sharpie trick, didn't you? The
Yes,
sharpness?
I did. The version that
The
you
gimmick
see. Yes, I
have you seen it, Eric? or not. But yeah, so
Oh,
guy for our listeners at home who don't know what sharpness is, basically it's where you have a Sharpie and you draw it on someone where it's in like a
Hello?
white shirt or whatever. Oh, hi Eric. I was just saying, do you know? The internet is not going. Eric,
Hello?
do you know what sharpness is?
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, so sharpness, I'm just explaining to listeners. So sharpness is a gimmick. So sharpness is a magic trick where you take a Sharpie, you draw it on someone's shirt or whatever, and then
Yeah, I
you
know
like
that.
rub and then it vanishes. And David invented it, and yeah, as David was saying, he filmed it with a friend, blew up, and that's how I first saw you as well. I think I was scrolling and I saw a version of you doing that, a different video of you doing sharpness.
yeah.
So keep going. Yeah.
And so then that happened, and that just took me to almost 1 million. And then in probably less than 2 weeks or a month, I was at 1 million. And then I was at like 1.2, 1.3, and then it just grew. And then I stopped at 1.4. And I was just learning, just enjoying it and learning it all. And I would say that was like 2019. Then the pandemic hits. 2020, 2021. We're stuck at our houses, and that's where my creativity just went skyrocketed. And I was putting out anything and everything that I wanted. And about 2021, yeah, about the end of 2020 and beginning of 2021 through 2021 is when I came up with the fake chips, and that skyrocketed me to 3 million. So I was about 1.9, and I went to about 3 million. It grew me like 1.1 million in like no time.
Oh
It
wow.
was crazy, like less than 2 months, and I was just grateful. What ended up happening
Wow.
was I did not know how to. I didn't know what they wanted to really give and do and stuff. So I've always been friends with Dan Rhodes. I've been friends with Dan Rhodes since he was for 6 years, since he was 14, 15. Sorry, 15.
Oh
So
wow.
5 years, and he's always just been such a real positive, grounding dude. Even for me, even though I'm like twice his age, he just I don't know. He's just some magic about him. No, he's just really good at he understands it, and he was able to explain it to me, and it meaning what social media it is. And he killed it on YouTube. So I said, "Hey, have you ever done my Sharpie?" So I gave him my Sharpie, and he ended up doing it. And on his YouTube, I believe like one of them got in a day got like 800 million views. That
What?
that kid, between him and I, we have over 4 billion views with the Sharpie marker.
Oh my gosh. And it's not just you as well using it. Like I'm seeing heaps of content creators, like all the
Yeah,
big ones, like who use
yeah.
them as well.
Because I tell everyone, I said, hey, I say, do it. Let's do it. One exciting news is, I hand make them, and there's no way I can offer to my fans and Dan's fans and everyone these markers handmade. So I figured out a way to make them one by one, but make them mass. So we're going to do a relaunch pre-order. Dan and I are actually backing, like we are it's the magic prank marker made famous by Dan Rhodes, David Bonfadini, or the Magic Crasher. The two of us, we are hoping to sell 10,000. He thinks we can sell out. I'd be grateful to sell one. But yeah.
I reckon because one thing I've also found is it's been quite exposed as well over the last couple of months. If you know this,
Yes.
because when I first saw it, I was fooled. I'm gonna be honest, I was completely fooled. I'm like, how the heck does this work? But then when I saw an exposed video, I'm like, oh, that's kind of dumb how they're just doing that. But then I feel like now, because did you make a video of exposing it, or was that
Yeah. I do it. I'll go.
Yeah.
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 Because
So now, yeah.
because it's a utility. Because the way I look at it is, if you're not a magician, but you want to prank your friends, or you're like a CEO and you want to, you know, you want to get in there and you want to, like, break the ice to your audience, that's a great way to do it, is the Sharpie marker. But it's also a utility device, because I've taken that, and my favorite way to do the trick is when I bite the tip off,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
do
Yeah. And then you have
and
the
I do
Sharpie.
bite Sharpie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you buy that pen, and then
Yeah.
you can do that super easy. And then there's a mind reading side of it too. You can hand someone a magazine with a mark already on it, and give them the marker, and have them
Oh,
do it behind their back.
so smart.
Like, literally, I've done this. I'm like, watch this. No, it's a real marker. Seriously. Like, I'll do it, and then I'll go, no, it's a real marker. Here, take it, and take this magazine, go to any page you want, make a big X, can be sloppy, doesn't matter. And whatever it crosses at, will get the closest word, and then I do a prediction.
That's
I
clever.
love that so much. I'm actually probably will perform that. Like, seriously, that is so smart.
No one ever does it, because like all they do is this, because that's the best thing. But I love to do this. See, it's very ballsy to do this, and then hand them the marker, say it's real. Take this book, place it behind your back. Look, there's nothing, like, look, it's just a regular book, and then you just skip through that, but you just show them pages, because to them, they think you're on a flow. If you can make your magic like you're on a flow, and not that it's trick by trick by trick, you can do anything you want, and they'll be like, oh my God. Like, you can literally do anything. So get them on a flow. Get them, and it's not a story. Get them on a flow. Like, exactly like I just said there, like, boom, no, it's real. Smell it. And then, like, the handmade ones, they do smell. So I go, and then they go, oh yeah, it's real. I go, yeah, take this and take the marker, or take this and take the magazine, go behind your back, right? The only thing is you might get one smart aleck that will write, they'll like be like, hey, I touched the marker and it didn't write on my hand. And I'm like, yeah, because I took the magic away. Moving on. And then that's how you deal with them. If someone's like, hey, I saw the flap, I'm like, yeah, me too. Your lips. Shh. Moving on.
Okay, so I know that David Regal, he doesn't start, I think he doesn't start off with actual trick. He'll like do something as a joke, because we had actually gotten a lecture. Uh, he doesn't start off with like a real trick. He would do like the a fake tear and restore with a piece of paper. He just starts
like a
tearing it
gag.
and then he throws it.
Yeah. He like messes with him, like show like underest. Oh no, what's the word? Like doesn't make himself seem as good as he is. Lowers the expectations. Yeah, he lowers the expectations. So then when the magic does
Lowers your
hit,
standards.
Yes.
exactly.
Lower the standards, and that's the best way to manage standards, is lower them.
Exactly. That's good advice right there. That's nice. All right. So I think we're about out of time here. But this has been a solid episode. Thank you to everyone
Yeah.
listening. When he does re-release Sharpless, I'll definitely pick one up, and I'll put it on my story, the whatever, and we'll share it and all that, because I highly recommend picking it
Yes.
up. Like, that mentalism thing you saw is incredible. Like, I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
But,
and honestly, like, it's going to be, like I said, we're doing one run of them for 10,000 of them. We think we'll be able to sell out. We're going to do a pre-order, so that way the pre-order is good, because I learned this from the gaming industry, the gaming world, 100 Thieves. They're really good when they do merch drops. So like, you have a set goal of 10,000, but if for some reason in the pre-order that's met right away, you can usually on the fly be able to extend that to where you can then say, hey, I mean, then you don't even need to say anything. You can just let it run a little bit longer. And I think that's what we're going to do. So as soon as that goes up, it's almost done. So as soon as it goes up, I will let you all know.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank
I
you.
love-
Thanks, David. Definitely.
All right, I got to show you this. You know this.
Okay.
Right? It's the King of Hearts. Because you, my boys, are the future. You guys are the kings. Ready? So here, watch. The kings to the kings.
Nice.
Never have anyone stop or take a bite out of your magic. Keep it going. You guys are rad. The best.
That is a wrap, everyone. Thank you so much. Follow, share this with your friends, and we'll see you next episode.
Thank you guys. You're the best.